All right, thanks for joining us. Fly Tying Tuesday here with Fishing the Good Fight. We asked our followers yesterday what they wanted to see us tie, and the winning pattern with the most votes was Lance Egan's Rainbow Warrior. No surprise. Absolutely awesome killer fly. No one knows what this thing imitates or why fish eat it, including Mr. Egan, but it works on tailwater freestones. Especially tailwaters where there's a lot of scuds, sow bugs, caddis. For whatever reason, they seem to work as an attractor, as a dropper, anywhere there's an abundant food source of those insects. So we'll go ahead and get this started today. The hook on the vise is a Tiemco 2457. This is a heavy hook. We have it's a size 18, so bead is sized to matched. We have a 2.0 silver tungsten bead there. The red we're going to be using, red UTC 70 denier, lays nice and flat for a smooth underbody. Lance also likes it because it kind of breaks up the dubbing and the bead, and it also provides a little hot spot. So we'll go ahead and tie this in right behind the bead. Trim it nice and close. And we're going to take this down to the hook bend. Take it pretty far down. And next thing we're going to do is tie in our tail. This is natural pheasant tail. Cheap. We want to grab a clump of these, say, 4 to 6, somewhere in there. It doesn't need to be exact. We do want to try to get these tips as aligned as we can. So we'll pull this to 90 degrees. So they're nice and aligned, and then we'll just rip that off. He likes a short tail here, so we're going to shoot for about half the length of the shank of the hook. I'm trying to tie this right in on top of the hook shank as well. Not on the side. Check the length. I want it a little shorter than that. It's about good. Cover the butt ends to keep a nice, smooth, even underbody. We'll just come in and whip this off. Next thing we're going to do is tie in our ribbing. This will be a large pearl flat tinsel. Mistake a lot of people use is using smaller tinsels on this pattern. It really affects the durability of this fly. We use large tinsel all the way up to size 18. Once we get smaller than 18, we'll go to medium. But we'll show you how we wrap this and why it makes it more durable on this bigger size tinsel. So we'll capture this, and we'll take it down right to the base of the tail. See how that looks. That's about, we'll take one more wrap. It's about good. Come back up. Just trying to keep this nice and uniformed. All right, now when we wrap this tinsel, the important piece here is we want each wrap to, getting caught in my pheasant tail here a little bit, each wrap to overlap. So about half of each wrap should be overlapped. That's going to provide, one, a nice segmentation, but two, it's also going to make this a much more durable pattern. If you have these fall apart, it's probably because you're using tinsel that's too small, or you're not overlapping it enough. So we'll go ahead and capture this. We actually want to capture this right on top because we're going to reuse this for the wing case here in a minute. So we'll fold it back over itself, trying to keep it nice and centered to about the hook point. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in some rainbow sow scud dubbing. Waspy and hairline both make some. I like Waspies. It's a little easier to work with. And so a trick here is we're going to start our dubbing right up against the bead, just packing that down nice and tight. That way we don't have a gap between our tie-in point at the end when we whip finish. And then we'll work that dubbing up towards the hook point and then back down towards the bead. You know, you want to overdub here a little bit from where you want this thing to finish in terms of the dubbing ball, because when you pull that tinsel over the top, it's going to compress it some. So I like to overdub slightly. The end dubbing size that I'm looking for is, you know, about the same size as that bead. So we'll pull this over. I'm actually going to give my thread a little clockwise spin here to tighten it, cord it up some. So we're going to pull this over the top, capture it right behind the bead, making sure it's in that gap. 2 wraps, pull it back over itself, and now we're going to whip finish it. And you can see here that my thread is right in line with the bead. It's not way below it, it's not way over the top of it. We'll come in, make sure this whip finish is tight and cut it close. Trim this tinsel nice and close. And that's the finished bug. I mean, you can come in here and clean up some of this dubbing if you like, but I like to keep it pretty wild. It seems to work better when that dubbing's brushed out a little bit. So that's your finished fly. Really simple, really quick. You can fill your box really fast with these, and they're super versatile. So spin some up. We tie them in, this pearl is our favorite, but we do black, red, and purple as well. Give us a shout if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.